How to hit 30 grams of protein at breakfast. This might seem super arbitrary. Why 30? How much is 30? How do I know how to get 30? Don't worry, I'm going to go through it all. But 30 grams is the secret number to starting your day right for weight loss. So, why protein? Why not fat? Why not fibers? Sometimes you hear those things bounced around when it comes to blood sugar. So, just remember the formula for blood sugar is protein, fat, fiber, and breakfast. So we're going to hit two of those in one. We're going to hit protein and we're going to hit breakfast. But protein specifically helps people feel satisfied and less likely to overeat. We're going to go into the details of a study that was really pivotal for showing what a solid breakfast looks like for weight loss. So this study suggests that protein is a powerhouse micronutrient that should be eaten for breakfast in order to curb afternoon sugar cravings. So the study was originally designed around sugar cravings, how to curb sugar cravings later in the day, but they also found so many other benefits to protein in terms of energy and weight loss and stuff like that. So it's just a powerhouse, protein powerhouse. So protein and weight loss. If you want to skip ahead to the end of the study, this is what they concluded. They said eating 30 grams of protein within the first 30 minutes of being awake, that is the key for weight loss. And obviously, among other things. And the easy way to remember it is to call it the 30-30 plan. First 30 minutes, 30 grams of protein. This plan is designed to curb appetite, leading to weight loss. So researchers believe that having protein early in the day at breakfast can help to control reward centers in the brain and brain signals that control food motivation that often cause you to indulge later. Protein has filling aspects that take away hunger and cause you to eat less. That's what we want. We don't want to be overeating more than we should be. We want to be full. We want to be just starting off the day, not just ravenous. So 30 and 30, just remember those two numbers and you will be set. So how in the world do you get to 30 grams of protein? 30 is such an arbitrary number. And if you're not a dietitian, you probably don't know how many grams of protein are in different breakfast foods. I even had to look up some of this stuff. I don't have this memorized either, so don't feel bad. But you can see how we need to mix and match to get to 30, because except for like a super, super jacked up protein powder that may have 30 grams, you're going to see how we're going to have to mix and match to get to 30. And that's where a lot of people miss out. They think, oh, I ate some eggs. Oh, I had some yogurt. I'm good. But look, if you have half a cup of yogurt, you're not even halfway to 30. And the study actually looked at different amounts of protein. So they looked at 30 grams, they looked at 20 grams, and they looked at, I think, like 10 or just a small amount. And the only results that we're looking for, they were only seen in the group that had 30 grams. So even 12 grams is not cutting it at all. So you're going to see how we have to mix and match. And that's where people miss out. They get a source of protein at breakfast, but they don't get enough. They don't mix and match to get up to that 30. So eggs are a big misconception. Eggs are only 7 grams of protein. So and this is a whole egg. If you isolate the egg whites, obviously you're getting more protein. But in order to get 30 grams of just eggs, you're going to have to do 4 eggs, which is a lot for some people to eat. And so if you want to do eggs, I would do 1 or 2 eggs. You still want to have the yolk in there because you're going to get those fat soluble vitamins like your A, D, E, and K, and choline. And there's a lot of other nutrients that are in that yolk. We don't want to just skip that yolk. So I would do either 1 or 2 whole eggs and then add egg whites. And that's going to help you get to the 30 grams without just doing so much volume. Alternatively, you could also just mix and match, right? You could do 2 eggs, 14, Greek yogurt, 12, 26. We're getting close. So you can mix and match too. You could also add some nuts and seeds. That would probably be the best option. So if you did 1 or 2 eggs, you had a side of Greek yogurt, and then you added in like a tablespoon of like hemp seeds are a really high protein seed, that would get you to 30. But look how much intentionality is there, how much thought process is there to get that 30 grams. You don't get 30 grams just by picking out an egg. Protein powder is one of the most concentrated sources. So depending on the protein powder, you're going to get anywhere from 20 to 30 grams in one scoop. I would say most lean towards the end of 20 to 25. So, but by the time if you add in a regular milk as your base, then you'll get to the 30. So it's really not hard to get to 30 with a protein shake. That's probably the simplest way, but I just want to make you aware that there's all these other options if we are just strategic about it. Nuts and seeds, obviously you're not going to get there on your own, and you're not going to eat these by themselves probably, but these are a great addition to something like Greek yogurt. Then eggs, we could also add eggs and beans into our eggs. Great option, another 8 grams right there, also getting a ton of fiber. One of my personal favorites, smoked salmon, 17 grams and 3 ounces. Now, smoked salmon is very thin, so you do need to be intentional to get that full 3 ounces, but 16 grams is awesome. So if you did 16 grams here, and then you did some eggs and made a toast with egg and smoked salmon, you're golden. So these are some of my favorites. This is not an exhaustive list, but I think these are some of the most concentrated sources of protein that you would commonly eat at breakfast. And make sure to avoid processed meats like bacon, sausages. Obviously, those are high sources of protein, but they are processed full of poor quality fats and sodium. And so we want to focus on these clean sources of protein. So I'm going to get into the nitty gritty of the study just because I think it's so interesting. So I won't try to bore you. I'll try to just give you the highlights here. But the study showed a positive correlation between this 30 grams of breakfast and appetite, satiety, and energy after your meal. We all want to have that energy boost in the morning. We don't want to just eat and go into a slump. So protein can do all 3 of these things. It can control your appetite later. It can fill you up at the time of eating, and it will give you an energy boost later. So protein content, energy content from the meal were important. So here's the takeaway. Breakfast meals containing more than 30 grams of protein and 350 calories. So we didn't talk about calories here, but chances are when you're combining several of these things, you're going to be getting a decent amount of calories. But for example, don't just do a scoop of protein powder and water. That's probably not going to be 350 calories. So if you can do 30 grams of protein and 350 calories, these are solid breakfast foods that increase appetite and satiety compared to just skipping breakfast or a low protein breakfast. So remember 30 grams of protein, and remember this is in 30 minutes, and then over 350 calories. That's what we're aiming for in a breakfast that is going to set us up strong for the rest of the day. So let's go into some more specific examples. I think these are all super easy. They just take a little bit of planning. As you can see, we have to be strategic of where we're getting that protein. So breakfast burrito, great option. But see, look here, we had the egg and the egg whites, like I talked about earlier. You're typically going to want to add the egg whites. And then they added in those black beans. Super, super easy. This does not take long. And see, we're over 350 calories and we're at 30 grams of protein. Peanut butter banana smoothie. This looks awesome. We're getting protein from the Greek yogurt. We're getting protein from the peanut butter. We're getting protein from the chia seeds. So even though they used almond milk, if you use regular milk, you'd get even more protein here. But that was 30 grams of protein. That looks amazing. And 430 calories. Awesome. 423. Yogurt bowl. So we're doing a cup of Greek yogurt. So remember my numbers over here were for half a cup. So if you can do a whole cup, which is a decent amount, you're pretty close to 30. And then they added a little bit of almonds to take it from that to about 24 to 30. And all of these probably take 5 minutes or less. Omelets, we're doing 1 egg and 2 egg whites, and then we're doing some chicken sausage. That's where we're getting our protein there. This actually is a little low on the calories, but I think it would be okay. I think it'd pass. This one's interesting. Hemp seeds are coming in as one of your best sources of protein here. And I don't know too much about this Go Lean Cashew, but I guess it has a decent amount of protein because 2 tablespoons of hemp seeds is probably like 6 grams of protein. So you must be getting a lot from this cereal. Again, these are all like 5-minute recipes, maybe 10 minutes on the omelet. And then my personal favorite, the smoked salmon. So we got 3 ounces of smoked salmon and then the egg. And that's getting us to our 30. And then we're getting a tiny bit of protein in the toast, but 290 calories, 30 grams. This probably takes 5 minutes as well. So 5-minute breakfast that honestly look amazing, super filling, super satiating, and they are going to curb cravings later in the day and promote weight loss in the long run. So it's just a win, win, win all around.